Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's Sunday, and as promised, we are going to go ahead and chart like we always do. I Forex trade, so I'm going to go through my Forex market watch list, and we're going to go through each pair and see what potential setups we have. So I'm just going to chart, and if I see something that I like, I'm going to set alarms and just wait for the week for the setups to play out, and I will get in if it gives me my entry signal during the week. So I'm going to go ahead, I like to start with a clean chart. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these flags. Okay. So we took off our flags. So the flags are just for, to just mark down which ones I'm interested in for the week. Okay, so let's start here with GBP CAD, which I think was starting to set up for this week. I was waiting on an entry last week and it just started to play out towards the end of the week, so hopefully this week will give us something. All right, so weekly time frame. So I like to have a weekly and a daily bias. So for my weekly time frame, we can see that we're having low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and higher low. So we are definitely in an uptrend on the weekly time frame. As you can see, price broke out of this little area and it came back to retest it. So I like when price has already retested on the weekly time frame. So when we go down to the daily, okay, this is where I like to mark my daily area of interest. So I'm gonna just make a box where I want to see price break out and retest out of. Okay, so let's just go to previous structure. Let's see how it looks. So we have the low, and then we can see that we're creating higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high. There's kind of a little break of structure here, but it was just to retest this previous resistance here, and then it broke out. So we're gonna go ahead and make our little box, and we want price to break out of here, and I'm gonna make the box this big. Let me measure it out for you guys. Okay, we can reduce the size of the box. That's way too big. I like to have a big box so I have like a safer area, but when it's too big, that's why I measure it out. I take it down a notch. We can't take it to this previous low here. We don't have to take it that far. We don't have to do this. This is just like, if for example, if it were a smaller area, I would go for the more conservative one, but this is a really big area. So I'm going to take it to the previous low, which technically would be here, but I'm going to take it right here. Okay, so that's going to be my daily area of interest, and I'm going to slide it off to the left. I like to see that price has been in that area before. So if we go all the way left, I don't see that price hasn't been there in a long time. So it wouldn't be my favorite. We have some touch points here, but it wouldn't be like the highest probably setup possible, right? It would be better if it were all the way down here. If this was the area of interest that I was boxing out, this area down here. Okay, so let's just mark it out for right now. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Let me reset the chart. Okay, so on the 4-hour, it does look good. We do have our 3 touch points here, so we're fine. And price has come down, broken below, and then broken over the EMA. I do use a 50 EMA. Price has broken out of it, come back to retest this, broken out, created a higher high. It broke this previous high here. We came back to retest again, and we made a higher low. So far we're okay, but we really need price to break out of these little wicks right here so that we can continue to the upside. So this is what I want to see. I want to see price go up, retest, and break out. That's what I need. So let's put our little risk reward tool. This would be the break of the neckline would be our entry, and we would just keep our stop loss right under that EMA. Let's go. We can target these highs or this high right here for a better risk reward, and that's technically our trade. We're gonna go ahead and put an alarm around here, and then flag this. Okay, perfect. So that's the first one we have flagged. Let's move on. Let's go to odd CAD. Okay, odd CAD, you know what? I'm still going to, let me see. Let's go go ahead and erase everything so you guys can see clearly. These are my runs from last week. Okay, so on the weekly time frame, you can see that price broke below this EMA level, came back to retest it, and had a crazy momentum to the downside. Price is slowly creeping up to retest here. We don't know if it's just going to retest this and continue down, or if it's going to have a deeper retracement, which is what I like to see. But definitely I am biased. I'm a bearish bias on this one. Okay, so we can see that we have this little area of support and resistance here. Price broke out of it and came back to retest. I would definitely like a deeper retest. So I'm going to draw my daily area of interest right around here. Take it to this low right here. Perfect. Okay. So I want price to pull back in a little bit more. And it looks like it's creating some sort of like wedge pattern here. So it's definitely going to go up. We just don't know how deep it's going to go up. And then once it does that, we're going to wait for the rejection to the downside. So it's going to look like this. We go up, we come back down, we go up to retest, and then we reject to the downside. Okay, literally just price action, guys. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. We're just following price. Okay, so at that point, we would put our risk reward tool at the break of the neckline and have it right like parallel, a little over the EMA. Okay, and then we will target these lows down here. That's what we would be looking for. So I'm going to flag this. I'm going to move that alert a little bit down to here. Okay. All right, let's move on. USD JPY. Same thing. We're waiting for price to pull back. Let me erase my drawings from last week so I'll just do them again for you. Okay, so weekly time frame. Let's look at it. So price went up, it went down, it gave this higher high, but then it broke through these lows. It came back to retest the EMA and it dropped. So we need price to pull back and give us rejection. Looks like it did. We have this weekly wick right here. So let's go to the daily time frame. So we have price where it just broke out and then came back in. So I'm going to mark our previous low and our previous high, a higher low. I'm gonna mark right here as my daily area of interest. If we take it to the left, I can see we have one touch point here and we have another touch point here. We had what do you call it, momentum come out of here. We have another touch point here. So I like this daily area of interest. So we need price to kind of come all the way up, pull back into it just like this, pull in, come out, retest, and come back out. That's all we need. Okay, let's wait for that. So we're gonna flag that's USD JPY. And then let's get rid of this. Weekly time frame for NZD JPY. Okay, so on the weekly we can see we have this low, this high right here, we have a lower low. We kind of broke these highs. Then we have a higher low. And we have like a lot of mix up here. But then now finally here we broke through these lows. We came back to retest and we broke. So I would say bearish, but I don't like how it looks like we're gonna break to the upside, at least to come back to the EMA, it looks like on the weekly time frame. Just because I don't like how this last weekly candle ended. It's a very bullish candle. So we'll need to see. I'm going to go ahead and draw my daily area of interest here. From the high, this would be the high, to the previous low. This would be the low, but I'm going to do this one. The end of that body candle. Let's take it left. Okay, so this would be a decent area of interest. We have several touch points here. So here we can see anything happen. See, because on the weekly it looks like it's gonna, like here we have a lot of bullish momentum and it might just continue to break up here. So for me to take a buy on this, I would need something like this to happen. Let's go to the 4 hour. Break over this, come back, and then go up, right? That's what would need to happen for me to take it to the upside. To take it down, is we're gonna have to get a flip over the EMA, come out of this box, come back in, and then reject. That's what we would need. So, not my favorite. I'm not gonna flag it for right now. I'm gonna move on. Okay, so NZD USD. Let's get rid of all these drawings. Okay, so weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we had broken below the EMA, and it looks like price is just coming to retest, and we can continue to the downside. But I'm not completely sure. Like, I'm not convinced that it's bearish here. Let's go to the daily, and as you can see, the daily we broke out of here, and there is a lot of area to refill. There's a lot of gap to the upside, so we cannot take this trade down. So let's move on. Okay, so NZD CAD. There's a lot of choppiness. I don't like this on the weekly time frame. Let's move on. Euro GBP. Okay, so we have broken price to the upside on the weekly time frame. It looks like we're coming back to retest. It would need to make a deeper retest here. I have the alert here put. This is very choppy. I don't like it. Let's move on. Euro USD. Okay. This I don't like how it looks on the weekly time frame. USD CAD. Okay, let's get rid of this. This was a loss the week prior, so maybe I just got in too early and this is what's gonna happen. So price is bullish and then has flipped to the downside. It looks like it just might be a retracement to just come back here. Let's see on the daily time frame what we're doing. So it has flipped to the down, but I wouldn't take a sell on this. I don't like that. Let's move on. So like, I don't like to stay hung up on a pair. Like, if it doesn't make sense to me right away, if it looks too choppy, I'm just gonna move on because I don't need to make things up in my head so that I can take a trade. That's not what I do. I need to, like, within the first few seconds of looking at the chart, I need to know where we're going. I need to know direction. So Euro JPY has been sitting in this consolidation for a long time, so we're gonna leave it alone. All right, USD Chef is down, but we need price to come all the way back up to retest so that we can do something with it. So not interested. I need to see, we can't just have crazy momentum to one side, like to upside or downside without having retracement. I need retracement to happen on the weekly time frame. And once that happens, I'm ready to continue looking at the lower time frames. If we just have like a big bullish or bearish candle and nothing else, I can't do anything with it because I don't know if price is going to continue that direction. And if it does, perfect. But if it doesn't, I don't know. That's not giving me an entry. So I want retest on the weekly, and then that's when I can move on to the daily time frame. Okay, so here we were consolidating for a minute with the weekly time frame. Actually, for the last couple of years. So price broke to the downside, and it's looking like it's coming back to retest. Let's go to the daily. I still need it to come back up here. There's a lot of gap here on the daily time frame. This is not my favorite, so we're gonna move on. GBP JPY has not given me anything in a long time, so we're gonna leave that alone. GBP NZD. Let's erase these drawings. Weekly. Okay, so weekly time frame, you can see the price is definitely bullish. And here it kind of broke this previous low, but it looks like it just came to retest this here. Let's see. I don't like that price has flipped on the daily time frame, because this literally would be my area of interest. So yeah, bearish here, but I don't know if it's just because we're gonna flip or if we're or because we're retracing. I'm sorry, I'm all scrambled up. So I'm gonna move on. GBP USD. GBP USD has not given me anything. Neither has Euro USD in a minute. Like, I don't know if it's just me or what, but it's just not looking. It's not looking good for me. So it's just like in this range. It's not trending. I am a trend trader. I like to see a trending market. I like to see lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, like that, or higher highs, higher lows, like, you know. I need structure, and this looks like garbage. So we're gonna move on. All right. So Euro odd. Let's see what happens with Euro odd. So let's erase these. I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay, let's erase these drawings. The weekly time frame, we're consolidating. We broke out, but we need price to come back in. I saw that I drew a fib, so I might give like a fib entry, but I'm not really interested in that. I really want clean price action, so that's just not gonna happen here. So we can move on. Okay, so those are my 3 pairs. Let's go ahead and chart gold. Let's add gold to this watch list. Let's go. Okay, perfect. So let's add gold and see. With gold, I'm not trading it. I'm just kind of, what do you call it? Just charting, like forward testing. So I was bearish last week and I charted this and I would have lost if I would have took it because it was literally just whipped me out. As you can see, that little tiny area right there, let's get rid of that. Oops. Tiny area there, it would have whipped me out. Okay, so weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, we're definitely bullish, but we're getting this big rejection candle. That doesn't do anything for me. And this honestly looks like garbage. Looks like garbage. We have this here. I have to get rid of my drawings. Let's get rid of my drawings. Let's hide drawings. Okay. So this major gap here doesn't even make sense to me. And we need price to come out of this area like this. Okay, but it looks bad. I don't like that. That's a counter trend, and it wouldn't even make sense. So we're just gonna leave that alone. So not interested in any of whatever gold is gonna give me. I'm just gonna leave that alone. I do think price is gonna come back down here, but we're just gonna leave that there. Like I said, I don't trade gold. I'm just kind of studying it and seeing how it looks. Sorry if my drawings are confusing. I just don't want to erase previous drawings on gold because I am trying to learn it. I definitely think sells just to retest. There's a lot of gap on the daily time frame. So I think that's what's going to happen. It was very clean to the upside, and hopefully it can start to create some sort of support so we can continue to the upside, and then we'll be more interested in taking a trade on here. But this is we're just looking, we're studying. So let's leave that alone. And that's it. So GBP CAD, AUD CAD, and USD JPY will be the pairs for this week. GBP CAD, I've been waiting on it since last week. It started to kind of set up towards the end of the week, but it was already like Thursday or Friday morning, something like that. So we're not interested. Hopefully we can get something in the beginning of the week that will be good. So like I said, this purple box is my daily area of interest. So for us to take a trade on this, we need price to break out of the box, retest, and reject to the upside. I have my little alert at the break of the neckline there. So we'll see. AUD CAD, same thing. We need price to come back to that blue area of interest box, come back out, come in to retest, and then a breakout. And we will take it at the breakout of the neckline. Now, when it comes to the breakout, we want to see a body candle closure below here. We don't want to see any wicks to the downside. We want to see actual body candle closure, close right around here, so that we can take it. So if we would see like a inverted hammer or a bearish engulfing, that would be what I'm looking for. and the entry would be either on the 1 minute time frame, and if we're being like more aggressive, we can even take it on the 15-minute time frame. It just depends on what you prefer. Sometimes I like to wait for the 1 hour and then the first 15 minutes of the next hour so that I can get into a trade. I don't really have, I used to be very strict about like taking my trades in Tokyo session, but now I just take them whenever they set up for me. So for USD JPY, same thing. We're waiting for price to come back to the daily area of interest, which would be that blue box. We need price to come in, come out, retest, and reject to the downside. Once we have that, we would put our risk reward tool, but since this is a JPY pair, the stop loss is going to be a bit crazy. I might just make it parallel with the EMA on the 1 hour time frame whenever that presents itself. So right now, the market is closed at Sunday, but this is going to take a little bit. We need price to actually come in and give us a shift of structure. And for the shift of structure, I like to look at the EMA. That helps knowing when price flips, but we just want to see price create a lower low and a lower high on the lower time frames. So yeah, so they're just 3 pairs. Oops, what did I do? Okay, so yeah, so just 3 pairs this week. Nothing crazy. It's the last week of the month. I've been noticing the last week of the month hasn't been the best for me. So we're going to be very conservative this week and just let the market come to us, not force any trades, and let everything just play out. So very easy, just simple price action, guys. Just follow market structure. Always wait for the retest. I've talked about in previous videos that maybe last year it was easier to just like get in aggressively. You could have put a buy order or a sell order, and once price got to those areas. But right now we need extra confirmation because the market is just moving weird, and we cannot risk our capital just crazy like that. We need to make sure that our risk is always calculated. So that's it. So I hope you guys have a great week. I am excited to hear you guys being green. Please share your experience in the comments. Tell me what you're trading, how's it going, how long you've been trading for, and if you have any questions or something that you would like for me to address in these videos, I'd be more than happy to. Well, thank you all. Stay safe, and bye-bye.